Good evening, everyone. It's the Music Reel, Nicola Burton from Music Means Business. I have Manny from the Pushworth Group here, and we're very happy to be joined tonight with To The Skies and their manager, Jamie. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi.
It's really good to see you. Now, where are we talking to you from? Where are you right now?
We are in our recording studio,
Oh, where's that based?
the Sunshine Coast in Queensland.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so I believe we have, some congratulations in order for your song Echo? What's the news? Can you guys say something?
Yeah, it was overwhelming. We've actually currently at 32,000 views and growing still. So we're getting quite a few.
More than we expected.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I mean,
Thank you.
anyone who's tuning in, these guys are a very young band who've been just slogging it out for the last couple of years, who released their single Echo, 13th of March this year?
Yep.
Right when lockdown hit. I mean, my goodness, timing. And yet you've got 32,000 streams after a couple of months without touring. That is, congratulations. That's just incredible. Well done. Well done. Wow. Manny.
So well done, lads. Yes, well, congratulations. 32,000 streams for a young breakthrough act. I mean,
wonderful.
Fantastic. So yeah, congratulations and all the wonderful accolades that happen there. So there's no, I guess, it's by no accident. I mean, band's got to be great, band's got to be known, and the song has to speak volumes as well. And it's a fantastic first offering, folks. And I guess what I love at the moment, which is really interesting, it's actually got streaming from all parts of the world. But interestingly, when we serviced radio, Melbourne, the salient community stations throughout Melbourne all added the track, which sort of adds to the momentum for you. So the unfortunate reality is that when we get out of lockdown and when the borders are opening, you guys are heading straight down to Melbourne for a tour. We'd probably do an Eastern Seaboard tour. Obviously, we'd launch it in southeast Queensland, especially the Sunshine Coast, and head down on a drive tour via Sydney, because don't get me wrong, Sydney's some significant community radio stations in Sydney have added you, and certainly in Melbourne. So get ready, boys. Get ready to get your driving gear on and get the backline in the van, because you'll be on the road. And I guess the question I've now got is, Echo, I guess it's been out there for a couple of months now. I guess it's sort of showing you that there's a demand or an appetite for what To The Skies are releasing. Can you let us know, with that, being really specific, if you've got any new tracks on the agenda ready to go? The second single, that critical second single. So over to you guys.
Yeah, we do. We've been working on it a lot since, COVID's been the perfect time to work on recording music. We've stopped doing live stuff, but we haven't really slowed down in any other way. So our second song, we can say the recording is finished.
Awesome.
It's done. It's ready to be sent off for mixing and mastering, and it will be released at some point in the future.
Fantastic.
Okay, so you guys have been super busy during lockdown. So you've been doing streams, you've been writing and recording. Tell us about all the things that you've been doing in lockdown.
Honestly, it's just working really hard to make sure we keep the momentum happening. It's probably why we've gone a little bit quiet on the socials, because we've been focusing so hard on making sure, we produce something that's worthy of following up Echo. So that's where we're at, and we're still pushing it. We're still creating. We're still writing. So that's where we're going.
It's so good to hear, because a lot of young artists we've been speaking to have really struggled with lockdown. They've been feeling depressed, anxious, unsure about, what's facing them. Have you guys had any experience like that? And if you have, can you just give us, talk about it a little bit, so that other guys that are out there might feel a little bit of inspiration about the way that you've been handling it?
Yeah, I think for me personally, it's more like a forced rest, right? So we're stuck. Like, don't get me wrong, I do miss performing and like having been with the crowd and, you know, being connected with music with each other, and that's something I miss crazy. But this is, I just step back and just go, no, you know what? It's a rest. This is a great opportunity to write, see what you can come up with. It's in a way, it's a blessing in disguise for me. So that's
excellent. Guys, the rest of you, same sentiment?
Yeah, it's been a really good opportunity to get creative.
Great.
Like in the studio, there's no boundaries in the studio. Like whatever you can think of can be done. So it's a good opportunity to think about, you know, it looks a bit different to how we'd usually do it, but you still got to make it work, you know?
I love to hear the optimism. That's so refreshing. Thanks, guys. And what about you, Jamie? I mean, you've been managing these guys through lockdown. Life has completely changed. What's been different for you in this experience as the manager?
Actually, not a great deal has changed. So my job is to ride the horse and make sure it goes straight.
Excellent. Good answer.
That's my job, and these boys will tell you that doesn't change too often. But what I have done is probably put a little bit more pressure on them to be more creative, because we have the time in the studio to create and finish a product that is actually, something that's just really above standard. So we touched on the fact that we're releasing another song after Echo, and that will be released sometime, probably September, October this year, as part of the Manic label. We will obviously put all that together, and that'll look fantastic when we get there. But we've been changing our focus from performances on the weekends to our music in the studio, creating. So yeah, Lockie touched on it. It's been a blessing in disguise for everyone in here.
How good is that to hear, that it's a blessing in disguise? That is so good to hear, because, the whole industry in so many ways has been decimated, but here you are making the most of it and leveraging the fuck out of it so that you can actually really, really get your teeth into creating this new product. I think that's awesome. Well done. Well done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've really hyped up this song, haven't we? So
it better be good, fellas.
It's going to have to be good.
It's got to follow up a great single. It's got to follow up an absolutely brilliant single. I mean, to be absolutely upfront, I think, with the results and, it speaks volumes. A young breakthrough act would be ecstatic between, say, 3,000 and 5,000 streams, but to be now transcending 32,000 streams, and it's upwardly mobile, I mean, the sky's the limit. And once we get to a semblance of normality, and we've actually got people going into radio stations, half the battle's been servicing it, as you've seen. We've amassed, and you guys have amassed, a wonderful team around you, significantly profile team, servicing the actual single. Half the problem's been that there's been no one at radio stations, or very difficult to communicate with people that are working from home, that are really, really under the pump, because they've got rid of staff, at their radio stations. And so, our little team has had to service. And, under these circumstances, you've got a fair bit of airplay. But, once we get to normality, we're actually going to commence, and really crow about the fact that you've reached 32. Hopefully by the time, things come back to normal, we're sitting at around 35 to 38,000, which makes a wonderful case to go back to revisit radio and say, well, you missed it on the first servicing, regime. Hey, could you consider this for, some airplay? And we fully expect them to look at the evidence and, actually add the track. So we haven't stopped Echo yet. I mean, great single, great result. But I've got a question. I've got two questions. One, who's got the worst body odor in the band, and who's got the worst smelly feet?
Dude, no.
Are they different people, or are they the same person?
Well, if it's the same person, poor them. But
I don't know. I walked into this room a second ago, and I turned to Alex and I said, "Something smells funky in here," but I don't know who it was, but there is a smell in here right now.
Oh, okay.
As the only girl here, boy question. We'll just let that go. Fine. One more question, guys. One more question. What is it you're looking forward to the most when we return to normality, everyone's out of lockdown, and bands can actually play again? What's the thing that you guys are really craving the most?
I'm excited to go on a tour, to be honest.
Yeah,
I feel like before everything stopped, I felt like it was coming. It was just around the corner.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that once everything goes back to normal, we'll just hopefully pretty quickly get back to where we were and look towards a tour, because we've never done one before.
Excellent. Well, look, I think you've got big things headed for To This, guys. I think we're really looking forward to this second single, and kudos to you guys, the way that you've managed this, like you said, this time off, the way that you've leveraged it, the way that you've maximized your time, and you're really focusing on your craft. Kudos to you, because a lot of people haven't necessarily been able to achieve that level of maturity in an incredibly challenging time. So congratulations to everything that you've achieved in the last couple of months, boys. I'm very much looking forward to watching how your career rolls out in the next few years, and looking forward to the tour at the end of this year. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we'll leave it there and enjoy the rest of your night, guys. Make sure everyone, when you're watching this, I'll put all the links to this guys in this post so you can check them out. It's a wonderful emerging young talent. We are so excited about what they're doing. See you next time, guys. Thank you so much.
Guys, well done, lads.
Thank you.